So we just got back from a really quick trip to Great Wolf Lodge in Wisconsin Dells. And so today I'm going to answer the question, how allergy friendly is Great Wolf Lodge? Well, hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin, and I'm a food allergy mama who likes to bring you products, tips, and taste tests to make your life living with food allergies just a little bit easier. To understand where I'm coming from, the allergies we currently manage in our house are shellfish and a wasp sting allergy for my husband, and then I have a kiddo with milk, peanuts, tree nuts, sesame, and mustard allergies. And so as we went to Great Wolf recently, I just had my eyes out for all the things. So I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty of the Wisconsin Dells location and what they do wonderfully and what I think they could improve on. Here I'm kind of comparing Great Wolf to Disney in my mind and seeing, how great could they be? Well, let's talk about accommodations and microwaves. The Great Wolf Lodge location in Wisconsin Dells does provide microwaves and rather large mini fridges in the hotel rooms. Woohoo! To me, that is number one on my list. If I'm going someplace, I really need that microwave to be the easiest experience possible. And so for me, that already is hitting the nail on the head for allergy friendliness. They provide those in the rooms. I have heard that maybe not all locations do. So if you're going to a different location, I would make sure to call ahead. And if they don't have them listed as in the room, see if they can provide one for you, because they might be able to put one in your room, especially to help you out for your allergy situation. Next, let's talk about food. The hard one. I wish I could tell you that Great Wolf Lodge hit it out of the park in the food department. They are listed online. There is a website or an email address you can email to talk to their food service professionals about making safe food for your allergies. But unfortunately, even though that information is listed online, they never got back to me. I emailed a month prior to our trip to find out if there was either quick service food available for my kiddo that would be safe. Oftentimes he can eat chicken tenders and fries because we are comfortable with a shared fryer, but no one ever got back to me. And also, I was looking for what kind of options would be available within their sit-down restaurants. I know that they have listed that they can custom make you meals that fit your allergies. But I have a 6-year-old. And so just because someone can make him grilled chicken and steamed broccoli does not mean that he would really enjoy that as a dinner option. Because of how quick our trip was, we were just going up for the day and a quick night. We chose to skip eating at their dining locations because we were focused on our kids. And honestly, without that added information ahead of time, I wasn't willing to deal with it. So this is one area where I would say, depending on your particular allergies and what kind of food experience you're looking for, it may or may not work for you. I probably would have pretty good confidence that they could make something, but whether or not it would be a meal that you're excited about, that would be a question. Now let's talk about eating within that water park and how allergy friendly it is. Now again, if you are managing just a peanut allergy, this is probably a non-issue for you, as most of the food they provide is going to be free of all peanuts. Again, that cross-contact situation is one you would have to investigate for yourself more. If you're managing multiple allergies like us, I cannot claim that any of the food is safe because I got no information on it. But they were serving, standard chicken tenders, fries, nachos, all that kind of food from a quick service location in the center of the water park. Now, if you watch my other video that includes my top 10 tips on going to a water park, I let you know, because I wasn't informed whether or not my son could eat safely, I brought our own Heats Box Go, our self-heating lunchbox with his food in a cooler to the water park. When we first entered the water park, I thought there was going to be a problem because they were heavily screening every single person and looking in every single bag for any form of carry-ins other than water bottles. So everything else they were not allowing in the water park, which is their right. It's posted, they're clear about it, that no carry-ins are allowed. The young adult lifeguards that were doing the screening did not have the authority to let me in with my cooler bag, but they did know that it was their manager's job to make that call. And so they called him over right away, and he was quick and kind and very polite about it and said it was no problem at all that we brought in the food for my kiddo as long as he's the one only eating it. I assured him the rest of us would be buying our food. It was just for my kiddo who couldn't eat the food safely. So In terms of allergy friendliness and appropriate responses, I give them a 10 out of 10. They knew what the rules were, they knew when they couldn't accommodate my kiddo safely, and they allowed us to bring in our safe food with no problem. So thumbs up for that. And I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty of the water park design. There's not like just one designated area where the food is kept back from the water slides. People are coming all the way up to the water's edge with food in some cases. And there's one particular room right next to the wave pool where in order to get to the tube slides, you have to go right down this like narrow aisle. And I'm sure because of capacity and things leading up to spring break, they had the aisle lined with people with chairs for people to sit in and eating. And so we had multiple cases when my kiddo had to jump over spilled food or move around Cheetos or don't touch that because Cheetos were everywhere. What is it with Cheetos? But anyways, so those are circumstances that we don't feel stress over now because we know my kiddo's allergies are not airborne or contact reactive. And he's also 6. He knows not to pick up Cheetos off the ground. But if you have young toddlers in particular, especially with contact allergies, for sure, I would not hesitate to pay the money for those water shoes because we saw more spills than I expected. I don't know what it is with messy people, but we can't control them. We can only control what we do to stay safe. And so, I wish that they had removed that seating area so that people could at least get to those water slides without having to walk past all those people. But it is what it is. If you are a family that really struggles to be nearby food, particularly wheat or cheese, dairy products, with your allergies, I might recommend that you do spend the extra money to rent a cabana. You can pull back the curtains and there's a TV and a fridge and a little mini couch and stuff and a table. And so that would be a way for you to eat your own food safely in a designated spot where other people aren't touching it. I could just see it being pretty stressful finding a place to eat because those tables filled up really fast. We got there we were in the lobby at 10 o'clock when they opened the water park, but we didn't get into the water park until more like 10:15, 10:20, and all the tables for eating were already staked out by people, or just setting aside that designated time to go back up and eat in your room. That's one of those things that you just have to choose your comfort level for your allergy situation and your family dynamic. Right off the lobby, in the Wisconsin Dells location, there's a quick service place called the Bear Paw that is serving ice cream, and there's just like a little counter with some treats in it. And our experience was kind of mixed with this. There were some drink options available, such as juices that you could purchase. And in the cooler with the ice cream was a lemon sorbet that was not listed as dairy-free on the label, but when I asked about it, they did say that it is dairy-free. And they also did say that they use a separate scooper for that sorbet only. Now, here's where I failed. I forgot to double check with them whether or not they keep the scooper in a separate, scooper well, because that is one that sometimes people forget about. And I forgot to ask. So I'm sorry I let you down on that one. And I also asked about an ingredient list, and they had no ingredient list available. Now, it did look very much like a lot of the sorbets you can find other places that are just basically fruit juice and sugar. But, it's one of those things that we like to look for, and especially if you're comparing Great Wolf to like a Disney location, they have all of those ingredients available. The second half of the Bear Paw shop did include like a bakery counter with cookies and muffins and things like that you could purchase, donuts and things, and there were no allergy labels listed, and they looked like just general lovely donuts and things you would get anywhere, and I'm fairly certain they were all filled with milk. So if you have a milk allergy, this is not the place to get your allergy-friendly cupcakes and things. You would have to bring those along with you. When it comes to the candy store area of the gift shop, they do have those big bulk bins with lots of candies available. Depending on your allergies, you may be comfortable eating from those bulk bins, and it looked like most everything fell under the category of the chewy, sweet, brightly colored kind. It looked like there were M&Ms potentially available as well, and I saw no peanut products. So that is going along with their allergy friendliness to avoid peanuts. However, in our case, we don't allow our kiddo to share from any of those bins, mainly because you never know what gets mixed in them. And with multiple allergies, our standard for our family is no ingredients, no package, no eating. And so that's just the standard we've set for ourselves. And so, as I mentioned in my other video, I just bring along safe treats from Dollar Tree. Then everybody has a safe treat for them, and we know it's safe and we can move on. But they do have lots of candy available if you would like it. Because we were celebrating my kids' birthdays, we did decide to take them to the arcade. We oftentimes skip those kinds of locations entirely. After watching lots of Mark Rober videos, we know that arcades are pretty much scams. If you're looking to win tokens and things, it's not the place to go. Even my older kids said, Mark Rober ruined the arcade for us. Well, Mark Rober kept it legit. So we knew going in the purpose of the arcade was to have fun playing the games and not to win any prizes, but you'll happy to know that there was absolutely no food within the arcade room, although it was blazing hot from all of the fans on all those machines. But it was very allergy friendly from that regard, and the location next door where you turned in all of your tokens and things, your tickets for prizes, had no food in there either. So on an allergy friendly scale, it was a 10 out of 10. Now let's talk about all of those cute little free activities that they have. They have this awesome sign when you walk in that shows your hourly free activities your little kiddos could participate in. And for the most part, those were wonderfully planned and allergy friendly. My kiddo enjoyed that little clock show at the beginning, although we were a little confused about which animatronic thing was supposed to turn on when, but that was cute, and it was right when we were checking in, so it was timed perfectly. Then he also participated in the bedtime story hour, which was lovely. He enjoyed that, and a dance party. If your kiddo has problems with bubbles, it is very much like the Disney extravaganza with those bubble machines and everything. So if bubbles are a concern for you with your particular allergies, that would be one to avoid. We unfortunately had an incident where my kiddo got poked in the eye right before we went to the dance party, and then there were just bubbles everywhere, and he actually had one pop in the same eye that was already inflamed from getting poked. So we actually didn't stay for the dance party, but in terms of food being around, there was no food provided or part of that activity. He also took part in the daily craft activity that was held, I think, about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and that is an activity that I would say depends on your allergy comfort level. There was absolutely no food a part of the activity, but his craft that day was making a cute little pizza. Now, this is safe. There's nothing wrong with this. It just happens to be that my kiddo is dairy-free and absolutely hates all forms of pizza. And so he thought this was fine, but he didn't find it exciting. So he and his dad went through and made sure to put dairy-free cheese on his veggie and pepperoni pizza. So it was safe, but if it's one of those things where your kiddos are sensitive to topics that are related to food, or if they just wouldn't find it fun if the topic of the craft is about food, you may want to ask the desk ahead of time or the craft supervisor. If you can figure out who to ask what the craft is for the day, then you might know whether or not you want to participate. In the future, I would ask ahead of time for my kiddo, because he left the water park a little early because he wanted to do the craft time, and I don't think that he thought this was that great of a craft. So if it was a wolf theme, he would have been all over it wearing his little ears, but pizza themed was just kind of a bust for him, but it was still safe. It just wasn't a topic he enjoys. All right, so let's get down to my final summary on the allergy friendliness of Great Wolf Lodge. So if you are looking for specifically a resort that can accommodate your multiple food allergies with amazing meal options that you won't have to cook yourself, this may not be the location for you. Because of the fact of not getting back to us about our allergies prior to arrival and what they could and couldn't make, I had no guarantees that they would be able to make my 6-year-old allergy-safe, kid-friendly food that he would like. I have no doubt that they could probably make him grilled chicken, rice or potatoes with veggies safely, but without that assurance ahead of time, I'm going to say it really depends on your particular allergies, your comfort level with chefs cooking for you, off menu, and things like that. So this is it depends kind of circumstance. It didn't work for us this time. It is something I would love to pursue in the future to see what is available, to give you all a more accurate view of what some of those chefs could do. But in this case, like all things with allergies, it just depends. When it comes to comparing this to a Disney World type experience, I would say that Great Wolf falls in the middle. I would say they are nowhere near the level of allergy friendliness of Disney World. They were not providing allergy menus or ingredient lists when I got to like the quick service location with the ice cream, and they didn't even have information of who had that. And then on the reverse side though, the activities that they had prepared for kids were free of allergies, and when we went into the water park, they allowed us to bring our safe food in. Also, throughout the entire resort, the only things that were packaged and labeled individually that my kiddo could eat were water and juice. If you have a milk allergy, do not anticipate being able to purchase anything. I mean, we were grateful for the special treat of orange juice, but my goodness, it was expensive. Just adding Oreos or Lay's potato chips would go a long way to adding more options for people with milk allergies. Also, if you are a family who loves Culver's, then there is one in the parking lot, and Monk's down the street has a very detailed allergy menu that you can look at as well. The only other thing that I really wish that they would do better at would be responding to their email address. To have a company say that you can email them at a certain email address and they'll get back to you with allergy information or meal ideas, to have them not follow through on that was a big disappointment for us. Well, friends, we hope that you have found our allergy friendliness review of Great Wolf Lodge Wisconsin Dells as helpful to you in planning your trip to either this location or any of the others. If you would like more allergy friendly content, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share any of our videos with others who might find them helpful too. Thanks for watching. Bye!